Hello everybody, welcome to the stream once again. Today we're doing some more testing of the new Abzan Scales, and hopefully I'm going to introduce you to some new archetypes that we haven't perused last time when we did this stream on Thursday. As always, let's start with the new spoilers from the Core 2021 set, and I believe we finished here last time where we saw the Conclave Mentor. So let's go and see if there is anything of use for us, especially for the Scales deck in future when the set releases. So we got some interesting goblins, quite expensive ones. Terror of the Peaks is an interesting card, but none of those can be used for the Scales archetype. There's a Watcher of the Spheres, which is useful for the blue-white flyers. Karvek is super interesting. Other creatures get -1/-1, and it's probably going to go into mono black deck, but this is mostly a commander card as far as I'm concerned. There's a 2-drop legendary, a very interesting one too, Nyambi. We saw Nyambi before in Dominaria, I believe, so this is the second card of her, if I'm not mistaken. Discontinuity. This is a card that I saw when I was walking in the park, and I was actually so excited for it, just because of a single thing it says, end the turn. It can do so many things. Yes, it's mana intensive with triple blue, but it can be cast for just one regular generic and a blue, and it ends the turn. This is useful in the cards that say the next turn you lose, or the next end step you lose. There is a Boros card, if I'm not mistaken, that says that creatures get double strike and indestructible until end of the turn, but next turn you lose. So if you can use this on the next turn, you essentially are not losing because you're ending the turn before the end phase. So it's a very nice card to see printed. There's a Glorious Anthem reprint and Unsubstantiated reprint. And that's about it that we can see on the Channel Fireball. There are more spoilers on other websites. Just Channel Fireball tends to put only spoilers that are confirmed. But majority of the time I tend to look at the MTG Salvation. It has many more spoilers, and some of them are not confirmed, but they look pretty legit, and I haven't seen any single one that hasn't been legit here. So we've seen the Feline Sovereign, Liliana Standard Bear. We saw these Planeswalker colored border cards that go into Planeswalker theme of the choice. So there is a Karvek, there's Discontinuity, Glorious Anthem, Subira Tulzili Caravaner. It's gonna be pretty much a mainstay in mono red, at least a 2-of. I see that B there because simply because it's a card draw for mono red, and it lacks that. And second of all, it has haste for 3, and it's a 2/3. And then another creature cannot be blocked, which is the same ability as on the Tin Street. The small 1-drop Tin Street Ravager blocker, whatever that was, except this one is generic mana, so it's kind of cool. Sporeweb Weaver we saw before, Terror of the Peaks, Defiant Strike, Duress, Ranger's Guile. Ranger's Guile is going to be interesting to try in most green decks. It's the same thing as Blossom in Defense, except you're getting +2/+2 and Blossom in Defense, and here you're getting +1/+1, but Hexproof is still relevant, and Blossom in Defense, quite frankly, was played mostly for the Hexproof to protect the creatures. Griffin Airy, Silver Smoked Ghoul, a lot of zombies printed here. Speaker of Heavens, Animal Sanctuary is an interesting card, and has a little bit of relevance to the scale since we are playing at least two snakes. And this card puts counter on a snake, and the 2 snakes I'm talking about is the Wine Constrictor and the Stonecold Serpent. Both are snake subtypes, so it could be relevant, but for 2 generic mana, and then you have to tap it as well, so that's 3 lands that you have to use in order to use this ability for a single counter. I think there are better ways to put counters than just land, but it's still a land. It's a land with an ability. And if we decide to go just green-black and mostly use snakes, could be interesting. Maybe we get some more snakes printed, and this set, or the sets to come, who knows. Alright, Colossal Dreadmore once again, Library Larcenist, Rousing Reed, Hooded Blightfang. That's an interesting card. It has Death Touch, and whenever a creature with Death Touch we control attacks, each opponent is going to be losing 1 life and gaining 1 life. This essentially goes into the Death Touch archetype with Travel, Bane of Monsters. So I think this is going to be interesting to see. Finishing below Palladium Mirror, reprint of Palladium Mirror, that's pretty cool. I think Commander people are going to be happy to see that. Scavenging Ooze reprint, so that's an important reprint, I think, in terms of those who are investing. Like, I have 3 real-life Scavenging Oozes, and I feel pretty bad having this reprinted, primarily because it was around $7 to $8 for a card. And right now it's going to drop to like $1 just because it's a rare, and this set is going to be highly open because of the cards it has. So this is going to be almost worth nothing. And it's a great card, sideboard or mainboard. Sublime Epiphany, 6 mana, but you get to choose 1 or more. Basically, you can even choose all of those. Counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, and target player draws a card. This is insane, especially if people start playing this in Blue-White Pioneer. This is insane. It gives so much more variability to the just drawing, countering, and bouncing. This does all of it on a single card. Yes, it's expensive, but Blue-White control might get there too. I don't think they're going to be playing 4 off, but this is quite something. And we see Rada, Heart of the Celt. Just a 3-drop, Elf Warrior. And as long as it's a turn, she has a first strike. That's pretty cool. As a 3/3 on turn 3 with a first strike, that's kind of scary. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play cards from the top of your library. This is awesome for the Gruul. So I think this is great. And then you pay 6 and it gets +X, whereas X is the number of lands you control. So land-oriented Rada. That's interesting. I'm actually liking this card a lot, especially in terms of Commander. Having doesn't turn 3 and you can play lands from top of your library. This is pretty cool. I must say this is going to be an interesting card to pull and play with. Definitely gonna think about maybe building a Commander deck out of this. Alright, so that's essentially it for the spoilers. Didn't have much because today is Sunday and there was no spoilers yesterday or today. So this is mostly coming from the Friday spoilers. But let's get back to the Pioneer. So I have a couple of things lined up for today. We've tried Abzan Hardened Scales last time, and essentially was a beater's version of it. This time today, I've had a lot of discussion about Selesnya Scales, so we're going to try out how that works. And then I'm going to introduce you to a Super Friends Abzan list that's featuring Scales. And so far I've been really impressed with this list, so I'm going to show it to you and we're going to play that one. And maybe if we have time, I'm going to show you the standard list that I came up with when the core set releases with the green-white Selesnya standard list, which I'm kind of excited to see the Scales in the standard. It should be awesome. It's not the greatest list, of course there are much more broken ones like the mono black list that I saw with the sacrifice, since they're getting so much more value out of gaining life, losing life, that it's absolutely insane. I played that deck once and it looks really good on paper. So we'll see how the standard Scales go. Maybe we can modify it a little bit today. For now, let's jump into Selesnya Scales. Let's try it out and see how that works. I decided to go mainly with the Llanowar Elves Elvish Mystic Selesnya Scales. We could go with something else probably, maybe like Beaters oriented Selesnya list, but for this one I decided to go with Elvish Mystic and Llanowar Elves. So we have a standard regular land list you would see anywhere. It's 7 forests, 3 plains, some petal groves, temple gardens, and I added canopy vistas mainly because we were playing quite a lot basics, and even if it enters step, this is the best option. Otherwise we have to go into the 3 color cycle lands, the triumphs, or we go into the check lands from the Shadows of Innistrad, which is also not ideal since you have to have a land in your hand, and I don't like it that much. This is much better, I think. And for all the other cards, we have Dromoka's Command. I added 3 of those in here for now. 3 Elvish Mystics, 3 Llanowar Elves, 2 Ozoliths. I got 2 Evolutionary Leaps. I think we can use value out of those 2 in this deck. And the 4 Hardened Scales, of course. 3 Vivians, 3 Heliads, because I want to maximize my ability to play with the combo in this list. 3 Nisses, 2 Anaphenzas. I could go to 3 potentially, but Anaphenza is great, and just green-white. It's double white, so in green-white it shouldn't be that bad. But every time a creature is going to enter, it's going to bolster, which is pretty great. And 3 Walking Ballistas. I could go to 4, but there is a reason I have only 3 in here. 3 Knights of Autumn and 4 Conclave Mentors, of course. So in the sideboard we have 2 Scavenging Oozes, 2 Rest in Pieces, 3 Heroic Interventions, 4 Dampen Spheres, 1 Walking Ballista, 1 Heliod, 1 Knight of Autumn, and 1 Dromoka's Command. Dromoka's Command is probably not needed in this sideboard since we have 3 in the main board. For these 3 cards though, Walking Ballista, Heliod, and Knight of Autumn, I have them in the sideboard in case I get to play my Vivian and potentially go to -5. I can always grab that one piece that I'm missing. For example, if I have Heliod on board, I can grab Walking Ballista, or the other way around. And in case I need a removal, I can grab Knight of Autumn. So I always keep 3 of these in the sideboard. Plus Heliod is a legendary, you don't really want to run 4 of them. And having 1 in the sideboard is a nice outreach, I think. Nothing really else I'm trying on the sideboard because I'm mainly focused on the main board right now. And I think that's what we're going to try out with to begin with. So let's see if we can find a standard game. And looking at the games going on right now, I don't see a lot of standard in here or pioneer. So we'll make it a little bit more interesting. We'll try to find either or game. So let's discuss Super Friends list before we do that as well. So for Super Friends list, what I did is I went Abzan and kept the same mana base that we ran in the previous Abzan list that we ran on Thursday. So you're having 3 forests, 4 mana confluence, 4 blooming marshes, 4 concealed yards, 4 temple gardens, and 4 overgrown tombs. For the other cards, we have 2 conclave mentors, 4 hardened scales, 3 walking ballistas, 2 Oath of Ajani, which I think is fantastic. And this is mainly fantastic because we are running 4 Llanowar Elves and 4 Elvish Mystics. So when you drop the Oath of Ajani and it puts counters on these Llanowar Elves and Mystics, it's fantastic. But not only that, but since we play in Super Friends list, the Planeswalker spells you cast cost 1 less to cast is super relevant here. Since majority of the all of the Planeswalkers have the generic cost on them, so this is going to reduce it greatly. It is a legendary, that's why I'm running only 2. Huadli's Raptor, I'm running 2, and in here Huadli's Raptor is super fantastic, just because it proliferates the Planeswalkers as well. 3 Nisses, of course Nisses is the main Planeswalker we want to see, just because it creates the body if we don't have anybody on the field. And we have 3 Vivians, like I said, if we proliferate with the Raptor, and there is Ajani would also technically proliferate Planeswalkers as well. We can easily get to -5 with Vivian. I'm running 2 Ajanis, mainly for its -2 ability, where it puts +1/+1 counters and the counters on other Planeswalkers. And I'm running Ajani Mentor of Heroes. This card is quite expensive at 5 converted mana cost, but it is pretty cool with its +1, where it puts 3 counters on 3 different creatures. And then its +1 on the second ability is also relevant, since it lets us get creature if we don't have any on a board, or get scales oriented effect with either the Conclave Mentor or Huadli's Raptor, either or. And I'm running 2 Dromoka's Command for the same reason I'm running 2 Oath of Ajanis. where it puts a counter on each creature. This one puts a counter on a creature, but it also serves as a removal card in our hand. As I look at the main list, I think that's it for the main list, and just want to mention that in the main list, in terms of removal, you're running Vivian, which -3 is effective removal against a lot of creatures. Walking Ballista as our usual removal, and Dromoka's commands. In the sideboard, we're running 1 Rest in Peace, we're running 2 Scavenging Oozes for the graveyard control, 2 Assassin's Trophies as additional removal, 2 Heliads, and this is mainly to bring in the combo, plus Vivian could usually grab the Heliad from the sideboard, 1 Walking Ballista so that Vivian can grab it, 2 Knight of Autumns if we need to remove artifact or enchantment, that's a problem for us, 1 Ozlet just in case we face something like blue-white control or anything else, but I've run Ozlets in the main board and it doesn't seem impressive to me in this list. Since Ozlet doesn't really do anything with the counters and planeswalkers, it's kind of weird to have in this deck. It's great if we put counters on the creatures and then we have Ozlet and the board gets wiped, but it's not ideal for us either. 2 Thoughtseizes and 2 Dampened Spheres. And I think I'm gonna keep it this way right now. It's been okay so far, but majority of the time I don't really need to dip into the sideboard since not a lot of people have answers for that many planeswalkers. Alright, so let's go ahead and find a game of either Pioneer or Standard. Hopefully a competitive game. I'm gonna do best of 3. And I hope we're gonna get a Standard game though, because I tried the Abzan Superfriends list numerous times yesterday. I am expected to try some Standard, since I haven't done much of it, maybe like once or twice, and it still has work to do. But for now, we're gonna do Selesnya Scales or Superfriends Scales, and if Standard comes up, we'll do Standard, even though I didn't discuss it yet. It's fine, there is nothing really new or unknown to people. It's mostly the cards people usually play in Standard right now. But just wait for the game to come up. Hopefully today it doesn't take that much time. Oh, and as a reminder, if you can see somewhere here on the upper right, I've added a goal. And the goal is mainly for the ability to play Abzan Scales, the list you saw on Thursday, as soon as the Core 21 set comes out, and we want to play it on MTGO in terms of league. So if we reach the goal, and you can see the link on the bottom where there is a donate button on the bottom. If you click on that, it's going to bring you to the donate page. And as soon as you donate with your custom message, you can see this bar increasing. And as soon as we reach 100% of that bar, I will promise you that we'll get the needed cards and we'll play the new Abzan list as well as the new Super Friends list on the MTGO. People are playing Pauper, EDH. There is a Course 21 set. Standard game. Which I think just went away conveniently as I was gonna join it. Alright. Guess that's fine. Not many games being run right now. Which is surprising to me as it's a Sunday. Hopefully there's going to be someone interested in Pioneer today. There's a modern game up for grabs. And CEDH. Alright, well, let's go ahead and grab the scales. At least we get to see the starting hands while we're waiting for the opponent. So starting hand 1, not super impressive. We're lacking the 1 drop. We are okay with scales. We have 1 scales effect, we have Knight of Autumn, and we have Nissa. We do have 2 Heliads, which is not great. And in terms of lands, I think we are okay. Since we don't have 1 drop, we can always drop the Canopy Vista first. And we will have both colors that we need. Nissa needs another green, which we should have no trouble getting sooner or later. But overall the hand doesn't look that impressive though. So I think we're gonna mulligan this one. And we mulligan into a slightly even worse hand, I think. Because we do have Elvish Mystic that we cannot play in turn 1. We have the Ozlet, which is probably gonna go on the bottom of the library. Ballista, Nissa, and a Knight of Autumn. It's not great. Having a single land and not being able to play Mystic on turn 1. And hand 2, we see Canopy Vistas, 2 of them, Sunpetal Grove. So also no turn 1 play here. And we see Vivian, Knight of Autumn, Dromund's Command, and Conclave Mentor, similar to the hand that we had the first time. And the Jamoka's Command is okay. But I think that's the card that's going to go on the bottom. It's also not an impressive hand. Let's see another hand. We got a Forest, Scales, Vivian, Ballista, and Heliod. Not bad. This could be okay to keep as a 7. Has potential, doesn't have white in it, but I'm pretty sure we can draw into white sooner or later. There's Lano Elves, Evolutionary Leap. There's Plains and the next 4 draws. It's not all that bad. Alright, we got an opponent. So let's shuffle up. Let's see if he wants to play Standard or Pioneer. I think it's gonna be Pioneer. Oh, Standard. Okay. So let's change it up to the Standard green-white scales. Let's draw the hands. So we got all the colors we need. We got the Ozlet, we got Serpents and Hoatli's Raptor. Definitely a keep. Don't have scales in hand, but it's okay. Let's see what opponent's playing. Temple of Silence tapped. Seems good. Let's draw a card. And it's a Vivian. So far we're curving out nicely. Let's play a Forest, play the Stone Cold Serpent for 1. Pass the turn. Fabled Passage, another tap land. Be some sort of Orzhov control or that, which I already have an idea what it's going to be. It's going to be the Sacrifice, the Aristocrats deck, most probably. Alright, while opponent's looking for a land, we get to our turn 2. I could play a Plains here, play both of these right now, followed by Hoatli's Raptor next turn, and a Temple of Plenty, which I think is okay for me. So let's play this, play the Ozlet, play the second Serpent for 1. Pass the turn. Not gonna attack yet. he decides to kill the Stone Cold Serpent, we can proliferate Ozolith, which is also great. Godless Shrine. The opponent has a 3-drop play. Bowstrider. Gets a goat. Okay. Now we can play Temple of Plenty. Got a little Scry one. It's a Wildwood Scourge, and I think it's fine to have it on top. Doesn't have trample, it's like a huge drawback, but it doesn't have the trample. Let's go ahead and play Hoatis Raptor. Proliferate both of these. Not gonna attack yet, so just pass the turn. And next turn we can Vivian. Or the Scourge, but I would rather want to Vivian to start growing these further so he cannot attack. Takes a Karlov. Alrighty, so soon he's gonna have the engine ready. Okay, so let's draw our Scourge. Play the Forest. Play the Vivian. And with Vivian, we'll go to +1. And we'll put a counter on this, and a counter on this. Still not gonna attack, so just pass the turn. Sacrifices the goat. So he gets to scry 2. And I think he scried only 1, so he missed the death trigger here. Second Scorpion. And a Hunted Witness. And a second Hunted Witness. Alright. Well, we're gonna untap, draw another Forest. So now we can play a 4/4 Wildwood Scourge. And we can do a +1 on Vivian. Oh, actually, we could do -3 here. And with a -3, it's gonna go down to 2, and we can potentially kill Teysa here. So he doesn't get that many triggers next turn if he gets another card to support it, because there is an Aristocrat card that whenever a creature dies, it deals damage to us. So let's go down to 3. We will target Teysa Karlov with this. And he's gonna sack in response to get many white soldiers and potentially Scorpion triggers, which is fine. So sacrifice 0/4. So you gotta lose 8 life as a result. And he's gonna make 4 soldier tokens. Gets to scry several times too. So we're 12 to 26. I'm glad I did it right now, since if I did it later, potentially we would be in much more trouble. And in terms of attack, and he's gonna have 4 creatures with lifelink, a Bowstrider as a 3/2. So I don't think we can really attack here. Alright, so now I get to pass the turn. I need to put a counter on the Atlas Raptor next turn so that he can attack. And since he has Vigilance, he's not gonna top. Bastion of Remembrance. Yeah, that would be on the field last turn when he sacrificed all those creatures, so he would lose essentially 8 more life. We still can lose 5 here, but without Teysa, it's not that scary though. Our turn. So let's untap and draw first Arian Games. So let's drop a land. 1, 2, 3. The first Arian Games. We will get a what is it? A white human soldier. White human soldier token. And next time we're going to be able to get more counters on it. And we'll do +1 on Vivian. We'll put a counter on the Raptor. And on the Stonecold Serpent. Which is going to trigger our Wildwood Scourge. And it's going to get 2 counters. Could go to combat here, attack with the Atlas Raptor, and he's going to have to announce at least 3 blockers with the Wolfshire, which he's not going to do. So we might be able to get some damage through. So let's swing 4. Blocks with a soldier. And sacrifice the soldier to the Wolfshrider, so we lose 1 life. But at least we force him to sack the soldier. I could be forced to do a -3 on Vivian next turn to get rid of the Wolfshrider. But if we do, we should be still pretty safe about this. So he drops that on the bottom. Pass the turn. Makes another goat with another Wolfshrider. So the plan with Cash and Vivian doesn't really work anymore. And it's our turn. Let's draw the card. Oh, first this happens after the draw, right? Yeah. So we get to put a counter. We drew a Barkhide Troll. The counters are gonna go on the Stonecold Serpent here. We got a Barkhide Troll. So let's play the Barkhide Troll. It's gonna enter with a counter on it, and the Scourge as a result is gonna get 2 counters. And now about the Vivian, we can put the counters on the Serpents, try to attack through. And maybe this way we can hopefully bring him down with these a little bit. Or we could do -3 on Vivian, kill one of the Wolfshriders. Which is also an option. But for now, let's go ahead and let's attack with the Stonecold Serpent. And attack with the Atlas Raptor. So that's gonna be 10 damage. blocks with the goat. Sacrifices the goat. Takes the 6. We'll lose 1 from the bastion, he gains 1. Alright, turn 2. Phase 2. He put it on the bottom, so there's not a great card on top that was there. We could -3 Vivian here. We'll go down to 9, but at least we get rid of this problematic thing. And we should be able to draw 2 cards next turn, so... Or we could wait. +1 Vivian right now, +1 next turn, -3 next turn. I think I want to cash in Vivian. Get rid of the Volstrider. Hopefully. He will sack it to the second Volstrider as a response. Allows him to scry one more time. Scries it to the bottom. Then we pass the turn. Perhaps 3. A third Volstrider? Could be. He decides to tap for 5 Convoke. Not sure what he's doing. It's 5 lands. A Volstrider from a discard to play. Oh, he's bringing it back for the escape cost. So the next one is going to cost him another 4. He doesn't have it right now in a graveyard. Alright. Pass the turn. Alright, so we untap, draw. And it's a Temple Garden. Not great. Put a counter on the first Aaron games and we draw 2 more cards. Got another Scourge and we got a Bastard Solidarity. Not bad. I don't want to pay life for the Temple Garden, so it's going to enter tapped. We'll play the Scourge for 3. I guess that's fine. Got a Scourge for 3, and we get Bastard Solidarity right now, which is going to grow the Scourges even higher. Gotta make sure that I can block all 6 here though. Let's go to combat. And we can attack with both of these, although I'm afraid to lose this one. Maybe I shouldn't be. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's going to be... Oops, that's a mistake. Alright, so that's going to be 6, 9, 17, 21. So blocks with the Volstrider here. This Volstrider is going to block here. And we got double block on this one, matter of fact. Triple block, not bad. Still survives? Yes, I think so. Alright, so both of these are going to survive, which is a bonus. Or not. Decides not to do that. So saves that Woe Strider, which I guess is smart. So now we're gonna use Basri's Sword. Oh, it's a sorcery, never mind. Damn it. Gotta read these cards more carefully, it's okay. So go ahead. We lose 1 from the goat. Take 6. Guess I forgot that it was a sorcery. If that would be an instant, that would be much better. Alright. Second main. Faster Solidarity. I got 2. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 of them are non-hydras, so that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we know that Orzhov has 3 counters from the Stone Cold Serpent. And that's about it for now. Something with lifelink would be much more useful in this deck. Midnight Reaper. That's gonna draw him a lot of cards while dealing damage to us. This deck seems super popular right now, especially with the new legendary. That makes it even better. And so far, all the standard games I've played and tested through, this has been the deck I'm playing against. So Aristocrats, it's gonna be somewhere on top 3, possibly even. Not yet. So we're down to 6. Since he sacrificed the Woe Strider. He cannot bring it back from the graveyard yet. Sacrifices the Reaper. No lands. Alright, our turn. We get to untap, draw. Temple of Plenty. We get a 4th one on the Irian games and we get a gold token. Got a gold token and we can get 3 counters from Orzhov onto something else, which is probably going to be Serpent. Let's play Temple of Plenty, I guess. See what we have on top. 1. Definitely don't want that, so that goes on the bottom. And let's go to combat. Orzhov is gonna put counters on a snake. Going up to 10, which gives a counter to the Wildwood Scourge. Both of those. We could attack with everything, which means we're gonna lose next turn if we do. So let's go ahead and attack with 1, 2, 3. And I guess 4. Black's here, black's here. This is the absence of trample that I was talking about that makes it pretty bad. Soldier Black's here and he's gonna take 10. So in a result he's gonna take 7. And we will take 3 as a result. Which is most probably going to be a game for us, since we do not have a way to get trample here. Yeah, this is a game. He can play a Bastion, a Remembrance, and sacrifice oh, I see. It's a human. Alright, let's go to game 2. Forgot that the Bastion also creates a human. So we need some more lifelink. So if the Knight of Autumn showed up, that would be great. I don't really have a working sideboard for this yet either, but we can bring the Scavenging Oozes in. Drop the Trolls. And I really need the Knight of Autumn, which I hope I have in this deck, but I don't see it. I must have forgotten to add it in here. That's going to be change 1 to this deck. We need to add Knight of Autumns. And Conclave Mentor is another thing that we need. Alright, let's draw 7. We got 2 Temples, Basri Solidarity, Hoafis Raptor, Crystalline Giant, Wildwood Scourge, and a Vivian. This could be okay, could be bad, but we have a Scryone on turn 1, so let's just keep it. Scry. And as we scry, we pass the turn. That's a Plains with a Hunted Witness. I got a Stonecold Serpent, so let's play another Temple. Scry one more. We need a land, so all these are gonna go on the bottom. We'll play the Stonecold Serpent for 1. Pass the turn. If we get a land next turn, we can play Crystalline Giant. It's 2 Hunted Witnesses, so we take 1 here. Voracious Hydra, still no land. Kinda sad. Let's play Wildwood Scourge now. Pass the turn. We scryed 2 cards and we still didn't see a land. And it's our turn again. He got a Midnight Reaper. So his card draw engine is on the board. Let's play the Blast Zone. Can potentially hit both of these, and it's also gonna hit our Wildwood Scourge. But we can't do it now either way. So let's play a Crystalline Giant. Go to combat. Let's roll a d10. So you got a 10th ability, which is a +1/+1. Which means that the Scourge is also gonna get a +1 counter on it. And since we are prepared to blow up his 1/1s, we could go attack with the Wildwood Scourge. But I don't think I will. I need the blockers here, so Wildwood Scourge is gonna wait. Luminous Broodmouth. So now dying doesn't really help us at all. Basri Cat. Could play the Raptor here. What is Solidarity? This doesn't help yet, since I want to kill either that or that. And we don't have lands for that. With the Basri Cat, we could put more counters on these, but he has Flyer, so it's not gonna be that useful to just put one counter on Stone Cold Serpent. Unless the Giant gets the counter there with Reach or Flying. Then maybe. Let's go to combat, roll for Giant. That's a Vigilance, not really useful ability. And, well, we could just play a Raptor here. Basri is gonna be gone if we play Basri right now, because I'm not gonna black with the Serpent, of course. Let's play the Raptor. 1, 2, 3, and we get 1, 2 on his Gorge. Pass the turn. It's kind of weird to be playing this and not having enough lands. Nightmare Shepherd, okay. Attacks with the Broodmouth, so we're gonna take 3. Pass the turn, I guess. Got another Blast Zone. It's still a land, so that counts. Could play Basri Cat or Voracious Hydra. If we play Voracious Hydra, it's gonna just trade with the Midnight Reaper. And he's gonna get a copy of a Midnight Reaper that's a 1/1. So not fantastic. We can't play Vivian yet. And it seems like the best play here could be Basri Solidarity. So I got a big Hydra, but without Trample it's not really something useful. Gotta roll again since we got a 9 again. So that's a 7. And that's Reach. That's useful. We can go to combat and try to attack with the Hydra. So swinging 9 to opponent. Blocks with a Witness, and I'm assuming he's gonna exile it to bring it back. And it's also flying. Oh, he's bringing it back with a Broodmouth. Never mind. Forgot about that too. Vindictive Vampire. And another Hunted Witness. Doesn't look good. Got another Basri Cat though. Not great. As soon as he gets a Sec Outlet, we're gonna be deep down. Basri Cat, we could get that. Have the blockers for the Flyers. We might be forced to attack before we can ult with the Basri Cat. Let's put a counter on the Stoneclosed Serpent. Just gonna put a counter on Wildwood Scourge. We go to combat. Let's roll a dice again. We had a D10, 9 we had also already. It's gonna be 8. So it now has Trample. Pass the turn, so we just need to get to 6. As soon as we get to 6, we're gonna be able to start putting out counters every turn and creating more creatures. This is slow, unfortunately. There is the sack outlet. I'll let the opponent play it out. We'll lose 3. One more 3. Then exiles it to make another one. And sacrifices that one too. So that's another 3, I believe. Now he just needs to sacrifice 7 creatures. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this should be a good game. Alright, so that was good. So we actually got a game going. I was pretty lucky. So let's get the Selesnya. And we got a decent starting lance. We got Jamoka's Command, Heliod, Walking Ballista. So we got a combo in our hand. Evolutionary Leap. No scales though. So not great. No turn 1 play either. I need to include more 1-drops here. Which I shouldn't have, because I should have Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystics drop in. I guess we'll keep this. Turn 1 Canopy Vista. Pass the turn. Opponent is playing Yorion, so it must be some kind of control flicker here. Irrigated Farmland, yeah, it seems like it. Sun Battle Grove. Can play this. And turn 2. Do I want to start with the Ballista? Or do I want to drop the Heliod? I guess I can start with the Ballista. So I have Jamoka's Command. Pass the turn. Worst comes worst, we can always search for another Ballista with Vivian. Opponent's thinking. Make sure he didn't go AFK. Draw a card. We got an Elvish Mystic here. Not bad. Let's play the Mystic. Hopefully no responses there. Then we can pass the turn even. Don't care about attacking right now. You might have the enchantment that exiles. Got a sensor, it's not bad. We get another line drop. You should be able to play Heliod and trigger it in the same turn, as long as it doesn't get countered. It's Hallowed Fountain, so it definitely keeps a some form of counter spell. So this is gonna get countered most probably. Let's do that. Now it's our turn. Got another Ballista. Could play Heliod. I know he has a counter though, so it might not be the best choice. And instead I can go to combat and attack for 2. See if he is going to play anything. Took 2. Turn 2 we'll play a Ballista for 1. Let's play the Evolutionary Leap instead. He might have a board wipe lined up next turn. Don't want to risk it. And with this, should be able to just pass right now. A land would be much nicer since we could have baited a counter spell with this Evolutionary Leap, just the way I showed this, and hopefully he doesn't have a board wipe next turn. Really hope not. Seems like he's stuck on 3 lands. The Fairy. Bouncing the larger Walking Ballista. Elvish Mystic. Okay. Farmland tapped. And then it's our turn. Got a Sun Petal Grow. Not bad. Let's play the Elvish Mystic. Play Heliod. Go to combat. We'll hit the fairy with this. Hit him with this ballista. We can pass the turn here now. So if we get another land, we'll be able to activate one of the ballistas and use its Heliod's ability on it, in case he removes one of them. If he board wipes, well then we don't have a ballista, but we will have Vivian. One can seize this one. So I go into game 2. Great start. Combo paid off. So what are we looking to bring in? So I think one healed is going to stay in the sideboard. 3 is enough. Maybe Heroic Intervention, although it's not useful against the fairy since we cannot play it as soon as the fairy hits. We can play it on the stack though, so maybe not that bad. Ballista, Knight of Autumn. Don't think I want to change these yet, so we're just gonna save it the way it is and see how it goes. Got a Llanowar Elves on turn 1. That's great. We got 3 lands, Hardened Scales, Heliod, Dromoka's Command. Could be good. I think this is a pretty solid keep. Just gonna wait for the opponent to sideboard. Alright, seems like opponent is done. Mulligan. Second mulligan. So opponent is down to 5. He has to keep this. Alright, so he keeps this one. Keeps 5. And has turn 1. Table Passage, and our turn. We got a Forest. We'll play the Forest and Llanowar Elves pass. Next turn we can play Heliod right away, as long as he doesn't keep a Censor in his hand. Which I doubt, him going to 5 and keeping the Censors, and Censor being one of the cards out of 4. There's an island. Seems like a pass. Could be Censor. You never know. Let's draw. We got an Orzhov. Play Sun Petal Grove. I don't have Ballista yet, so Heliod on its own is not really useful. What we can play here is Hardened Scales, Orzhov, and kind of set up for the next turns to come. I'll wait for him to tell me that it's okay, because if he decides to counter that after the fact, that's not good. Alright, so we got a pretty decent setup. Even if he has a counter spells or Teferi, should be okay with this. Canopy Vista. So I could play a forest here. Definitely has Absorb in hand though, so maybe just playing Temple Garden here and using Dromoka's command. Alright, fine, let's take the risk. See if he counters this. He should. Considering we don't have a Ballista, this could be okay to get this countered. Sansa, I should have paid for that. Okay. So he did have the Sansa. He would have paid the life for this, and this way he would have used his Absorb. We got a Nissa. Play the Forest. Let's play the Nissa. See if he's gonna counter that. No response, so we will go up to 4. Make a plant. That's not the right plant. Not bad. Should be a 0-1 plant. There it is. And we could go to combat here. Or we could just wait. Let's keep head number 1. Pass the turn. And that's an island. Got a Temple Garden. Play the Temple Garden tapped. Could do a +1 here one more time. Attack for 1. Takes the 1, so we pass the turn after this. If he has the Fairy, he can tuck Nissa third from the top of our library. He doesn't have the Fairy then. He still should be okay. I'm looking to pop Nissa's ultimate and keep Nissa on the board. This way we should be getting at least 6 cards and 6 life. He has to play Yorion in order to pressure Nissa though. There's a Teferi. Has to bounce something. I don't think this is gonna be okay yet. If I play Dromoka's command, he's gonna probably counter that. Play Dromoka's command. give this a counter. This way, if he bounces the plant, we lose the counters. They go on Azot, but if he bounces the elves, we will have the plant to kill the fairy. Puts Yorion in his hand. Alright, we can untap. We got a Ballista. Let's play the Canopy Vista. Six for a Ballista. That's 4 counters. And then we can do -2 here. Let's see, if I attack with 3, I'll have to use 2 counters to kill the fairy. Leaving Ballista at 2 counters, and we'll be able to +1 Nissa here as well. So that's +1. Make a copy of this. Go to combat. Swing of these 2 at the fairy. Second main, kill off the fairy. Pass the turn. Should be able to outvalue him if we pop the Nissa. We'll probably play Yorion now. Supreme Verdict. Okay, that kind of works. Not gonna lie, this is okay. Do I want to use my Ballista to hit him with the counters? Do I want to put the counters on the Ozlet? I think I want to hit him in case he has the another Teferi, which is gonna bounce the Ozlet. And this goes to this card. We got 2 counters on the Ozlet. Then it's our turn. So we draw a Plains. Let's drop the Plains. We'll go to +1 on Nissa. Make the plant again. Go to combat. We'll put the counters on the plant. Resulting in 3 counters on the plant. And we'll pass the turn. End of turn play. Omen of the Sun. Okay. Well, that's fine. Makes 2 1/1s. Tax Nissa, of course. Plays the Yorion. Oh, Dream Trawler. Okay. Dream Trawler. Drew a Knight of Autumn. Knight of Autumn doesn't really help right now. Could kill that. And thank you for the follow. Banleon03. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed the channel. Let me know if you have any suggestions as well. Alright, so we can play Knight of Autumn, kill the Omen of the Sun. He still is going to have Dream Trawler, which means he's going to be able to deal 5 to Nissa next turn. And get life off of that too. It seems like the only logical play here to play Knight of Autumn. Get rid of that, and we can probably do a -2 on Nissa. Which will put counters on this and that. And we can go ahead and attack him for 5. Last turn. Gonna give him ability to finish off Nissa. Okay. Castle Ardenvale. And it's our turn. He doesn't play Yorion. He's gonna use the castle to make 1/1. So we drew another land. Let's go ahead to combat and try to attack with both, see if he blocks with 2. Yep. Blocks 1 and takes 5. Oh, he gains 5. Never mind. The soldier is gone, I guess. Taken 5 here. Place Elspeth Conquers Death. Gets exiled and we get 2 counters on the Ozlet. And it's our turn. We got a Vivian, which is probably gonna get countered though. We can try. Yeah. I'll go to combat and swing for 8. So he's down to 14, we'll be down to 10 next turn, he will go up to 19. And he has ability to make 1/1s. Kind of screwed here, unfortunately. But we were close with getting the Nissa to 7 counters there. That's why I don't really like the Selesnya Scales that much. It's not fast enough and it's not resilient enough. Draw. Evolutionary Leap. Play the leap. Go to combat. We can swing for 8. He's gonna make a soldier though, so it doesn't really matter. And he brings back something else. And I'm just gonna see if our next draw is gonna matter at all. Also gets the Scry. I think he's ahead of this one already. Just the fact that he drew this Supreme Verdict helped him out a lot, and Omen of the Sun allowed him to pressure me enough so that I cannot pop the Nissa. There's the Fairy. He will bounce that, and then we're empty-handed. Just gonna see a couple of next draws. Cannot win with that against his card draw. So sure, let's go to game 3. Sideboard. Alright, let's play with a Heroic Intervention, I guess. Jamoka's Command is still nice for him to sacrifice his enchantments, so I would like to keep that. And things we're gonna take out, maybe one Night of Autumn, and I am thinking about dropping one Vivian. Oh. Fortunately, sometimes on this platform the lag happens with the sideboard, and then we have to do it manually. That happens. We're taking this one out. We're taking this one out, and we will take out one of these. I mean, one more card to take out, and I think we will lose one of the kind of fences even. No, we should be okay. I think this should be fine. So we got two heroic interventions. We got an Elvish Mystic and a Nissa. I think this is going to be a keep. Let's play the Mystic Pass. Hallowed Fountain. Okay. Got a Night of Autumn. Let's play the Plains. We'll play the Nissa right now. Make a plant. Pass the turn. Let's see if we can be fast enough with the Nissa. We're going to be holding the Heroic Intervention, so the board wipe is not that scary for us. Got another Canopy Vista. I don't think I want to play Night of Autumn here. Question becomes if I want a +1 or a -2 here. And I think I want to +1 and make one more plant. Go to combat and attack them with 1. Pass the turn. I need to draw skills before we -2 her. There's another Hallowed Fountain, and he pays life for that. Seems good. Draw a card. That's an evolutionary leap. I can definitely try to play that and bait his counterspell here. Or he's not gonna counter it. Let's see. There's a Sinister Sabotage. He's looking for the Supreme Verdict. And we'll play +2 on Nissa and make another plant. And then attack him for 1. Down to 16. Pass the turn. Now we should be okay with -2 next turn. That's gonna hit him for 5. Or we could even +1. There's a 1, 2, 3. 4. Elspeth. Okay. Makes 2 humans. That's alright. Our turn. Got a Conclave Mentor. Right on time. Now we'll -2 Nissa. Put 2 counters on each creature. And we can go ahead and deal with Elspeth. Or we can just go ahead and straight up attack him. Let's see, this is 6, 9. Let's go ahead and attack him. Awesome. This is so far so good, I think. Especially since we have Heroic Intervention in hand. If he has the board wipe, we'll be able to intervene with that. I don't mind losing Nissa here if he's gonna attack and keep himself wide open. Glacial Fortress gives +2/+1 to both of these. Kills Nissa, that's fine. And then it's going to be Supreme Verdict. And he's done. Because this is Heroic Intervention. So we get Indestructible. And all of our creatures are going to survive. Alright, so we're going to do another game against blue-white control. I think it's pretty good to do some matchups against this. So we're going to switch out to our Abzan Superfriends. Alright, so we have 2 Nissas, Ajani, and Huatli's Raptor, as well as 2 lands. No 1-drop, no Land of Elves and Elvish Mystics. But I guess it's okay. So we'll keep this one. Seems like he swapped his deck too. Or maybe not sure. Let's play the Overgrown Tomb tapped and pass the turn. Heroic Intervention is super nice against blue-white control. You didn't expect it though. Alright, Concealed Courtyards, and we'll play a Scales, pass the turn. Glacial Fortress, and then it's our turn again. Got a Jaboka's Command, not great, no land yet. Could have played my Nissa already. Kind of forced to try playing Ballista and see if it gets countered. Yes, it does. There's a Mana Confluence. Pay 1 life and we'll try to play Nissa, which probably is going to get absorbed. Or another Sensor, quite possible. Yep, sure. Fabled Passage pass, okay. Got a Temple Garden. In case he has another Sensor, which I doubt, we'll pay the 2 and we'll be able to not pay for the Mana Confluence here. Play another Nissa, see if it gets countered as well. There's a Dolphin Sphero, okay. Could play a Johnny next turn, I guess, start getting life. Alright, our turn. Opponent is keeping 5. Got a Winding Constructor. Try playing the Winding Constructor. Now let's do a Johnny. It's probably gonna get countered. Gotta bait all these counters. Pass the turn. And stop scrying with the Castle Ventress. There's an island. What's Yorin in his hand? Has 3 mana open. Got a Nissa. I wish we had another land though. Might keep this for now. Let's play with a Winding Constructor. See if it gets countered. Sinister Sabotage, okay. And then we can play Wildly's Raptor and put the counters on Wildly's Raptor. Really wish we had another land. So now we do -2, put 2 counters on this, and pass the turn. Feel the Ruin. Elspeth conquers death. So Ajani gets exiled. I got another Dromoka's Command. Let's try playing Nissa. Guess we'll +1 on Nissa. Go to combat and attack with the Raptor for 4. This is gonna get exiled next turn, probably with him playing Yorion and bouncing the Elspeth Conquers Death. He kills our mana confluence, allowing us to search for a basic land and put it on a battlefield untapped. I got a forest. There's a Yorion, which will bounce this. Alright, and then it's our turn. We can kill Yorion here. With the Drumoka's command, we can pay 2 extra for the chapter 2 of the Elspeth Conquers Death. Let's play Bloom and Marsh tapped here. Drumoka's command, put counters on the Raptor, making it a 6. Yeah, we gotta do that, otherwise we'll not be able to kill Yorion. Drumoka's command, he has a response. Okay, well, I knew that, thank you. Put 2 counters here. Kill that. Go to combat, and we'll attack with 6. Pass the turn. If he has a board wipe, well, we're gonna lose both. Has a Teferi Time Revel that's gonna bounce Wildly's Raptor, which also is unfortunate. There's a Irrigated Farmland. He's not cycling it, so he has a solution in his hand. There's a Gideon. He's gonna target Wildly's Raptor. Okay. And then it's our turn. Got a Bloom Marsh. Play another Drumoka's command, see if he counters that. I don't think he will. By this time he's probably run out of most of his counters. One mistaken, that means he might have a counter in his hand. And even if he doesn't have a counter in his hand, we will make him sacrifice this. This way he doesn't get Yorion back. Okay, he decided to let it resolve. Let's try to get Gideon down to 2. Slowly but surely. Alright, so Plant is targeted by Gideon, and I'm guessing he has Teferi to bounce Wildly's Raptor. There's a Shark Typhoon coming in. Got another Hardened Scales. Not sure why he targeted land with Gideon if he only has two lands open. Quite unclear. No counter spell. Let's attack Gideon, I guess. So he definitely has something. He's gonna jump block with the shark. Oh, dig through time is good. It's gonna be an 8/8 shark. This is most probably a good game. I'm not gonna be able to beat a shark while he's gonna have all the counters, and he gets the game with the two cards that he can pick off the top. Alright, so sideboard. Definitely gonna grab the Thought Seizes. I want the Ocelot. I think that's it. We're gonna take out the Ajani Mentor of Heroes here, just because it's too expensive, too slow. I want a much faster game here. And we need to take out one more card, and I'm gonna drop the... is it one Conclave Mentor or Huatli's Raptor? And I think Huatli's Raptor is the card to drop in this matchup. Okay. Seven. We got a Temple Garden Elvish Mystic. Only one land, which could be tough in this matchup. But we have two Nissas and we have Conclave Mentor. I'll take a risk and I'll keep this one. We're on the draw, we should be able to draw another land by our turn 2. We're on the play, my bad, we lost last time, right? Let's play Temple Garden 2. Elvish Mystic. Next turn we can play either Conclave Mentor or Nissa if we draw land. That's not a land. Well, let's play Conclave Mentor. Pass the turn. There's a Temple Garden. Let's try playing Nissa, which will probably get countered by either Dolvin's Veto or Censor. Go to combat and attack him for 2. Pass the turn. Need a black source for the Wine Constrictor. Alright. There's a Thoughtseize which we cannot play because we don't have a black source. So we are forced to play Nissa and see if he counters that. Has Absorb or Veto, even better. Swing 2 again. Pass the turn. Maybe keeping one land was not a bad, was not the best idea, but overall the hand looked strong if we drew enough lands, which doesn't seem to be happening right now. Try playing Ballista now. See if it gets countered. Seems like it's not gonna get countered. We get a Ballista. We get Elvish Mystic. If he wants to counter it, it's up to him. Seems like he probably has Supreme Verdict. Okay, has a Supreme Verdict, he should play it now. No reason not to. It's gonna bring us to 2 mana per turn. But since he doesn't use Verdict right now, he probably doesn't have it. Omen of the Sea, okay. Second Omen. There is a Supreme Verdict. Get the 2 life from the Conclave Mentor. Got an Elvish Mystic. Gotta pass the turn now. Would be nice if he puts Yorion in hand and we thought sees it. We draw a black land, of course. Puts a Yorion in hand. And 3 for Gideon. Okay. So that's fine. Okay. Another Temple Garden. Why not? Gotta put 2 counters on this and pass. That's about all that we can do right now at this point. Had a great start though. Place Yorion. Oh no. Lavinia the 10th. Wow. That's gonna detain essentially everything. Okay. I'm not sure that that's how it works. I don't think he realizes that it's going to be creature dealing damage. Okay. That's fine. Let's draw 1. We got a Vivian took 4. Oh, he attacked. Alright, and we got a concealed courtyard, so it's gonna enter tapped, unfortunately, and we are not able to play anything else right now, so we're gonna have to pass. We cannot attack either since Lavinia detained it. Now he can play Yori and flicker the Lavinia, and Gideon is gonna attack at Vivian. Both are gonna attack at Vivian, I guess. Alright, well, this is definitely going to be a good game at this point. I was able to remove both misses, 3 Elvish Mystics, Mentor, and Walking Ballista. And now this as well. So, I guess this is a good game. Alright.